Hello everyone, my name is Courtney Weis, and I'm a senior here at UF majoring in history. This presentation is based on my honors thesis. And the inspiration for this project came from a combination of two factors: an early love for Spanish colonial history that I developed through taking courses in the department, and the lack of representation of females of the time that I have found while studying this field. I wanted to know more about the females of this time that are usually allocated at best one chapter in most of the notable books of this field. Fortunately, this project of mine is not the only one to shine light on the women of the Spanish colonial story. There has been a trend in recent history scholarship to tell well-known stories from the perspective of those who were not white males. If you are interested, Matthew Restall has a great article on this idea known as New Conquest History that is worth a read, even if you're not an aspiring historian. More information on this article can be found on my poster. What makes the Spanish colonial period so interesting is that it is a mix of many types of people. I chose to focus on indigenous Nahua women that lived in the Toluca Valley, which is an area outside of present-day Mexico City. I narrowed my time period down to about 1650 to 1750. This time period lies at the end of the colonial period for the area. The women that lived in this world operated through Spanish law and legislation, but still retained many aspects of Nahua culture. The bulk of my primary source material is the last wills and testaments these women left behind. An example of one of these wills can be found on my poster as well. These wills are a treasure trove of information, showing us what these women owned, who they interacted with on a day-to-day basis, and how they chose to handle their burial and their transition out of their earthly bodies. They are some of the only sources that we have that come from the women themselves, though I do discuss the role of the notary and how that played into the creation of these documents. The main argument, or the thesis of my paper, is that the Nahua women of the Toluca Valley used this Nahua-Spanish dichotomy that they lived in to their advantage. They navigated through Spanish religion and legislation to better themselves and their families, but still held on to the Nahua traditions, such as weaving, to keep that world alive. In short, indigenous women were not pawns of the Spanish colonial empire, which unfortunately is what is depicted in most movies and popular culture. They will show that they exerted their own autonomy and power whenever possible. Thank you for taking the time to look at my project, and let me know if you have any questions.